The sunset this morning is just absolutely beautiful. Way better than AI. Reality, way better than AI. I was scrolling on X yesterday, just for a little bit. I can't spend much time on there. It's too insane. I mean, people were losing it. We are losing our minds. I mean, every single thing is a conspiracy. The amount of spending 5 minutes on X, and I don't even know how my feed even came to be because I don't click on anything. I don't follow anyone. I don't have any followers. I just go to the home and just scroll down and see what's going on. And I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to tell me, but I'm not really a fan. It's just too much. Every single thing is a conspiracy. You know how many conspiracies are being spun right now about Charlie Kirk's assassination and somehow tying his wife to Trump and that his dad was an architect on the Trump Tower? All that might be true, but it's like, yeah, dude, he was in that world, in that orbit. I don't know. I mean, you just gotta unplug. Gotta unplug it. Because the bottom line is, what was done was evil. That's it. Does it matter if it was an elaborate conspiracy or not? Like, what are you going to do about it? If you crack the code, like, what are you trying to... I don't know what people are trying to insinuate. Really. Like, if you crack the code... I don't even know what code they're trying to crack. I think they're on crack, is what I think. Jimmy Kimmel's back. I saw that. Guaranteed it's going to come back. That dude, he took a pay cut. His contract was up for renewal. His ratings suck. Did anybody watch? Like, I'm sure like a ton of people tuned in to see what he was going to say, and then everyone will go back to not watching the show. Who's at home watching late night anyways? No one. If anyone's awake and at home, they're going to be on their phones. Doom scrolling. That's the new late night. Late night doom scrolling. Late night with doom scrolling is the name of the show that they are participating in. So anyways, I was going on X and so many people were like, game over. And then showed there's like a new app where basically as you talk and move your body, it superimposes other human beings on top of it. And it looks frighteningly real. It does. But here's the thing, like, game over with what? Everybody's acting like they live inside of virtual reality. All you have to do is remove yourself from virtual reality, go into actual reality, and then people can't superimpose another human being over themselves like they're that stupid creature from X-Men that the lady from Hunger Games played. Or you can change into other people. Like, that's not happening at the grocery store. That's not happening in reality. So if you don't want it to be game over, just leave virtual reality. Is everyone forgetting that we have this option? Because when you're on the internet, it just feels like most people think that that's where life is, inside of the Matrix. And that's just not true. So, I mean, it is wild, though. It is a wild capability. But we don't have to participate in it. Everybody just thinks that you have to. It's odd. Go out, go look at the cows, man. Go realize that the cows know what we are up to. They do. I love looking at cows. Don't enjoy eating them. I don't eat them. I like looking at them. Dude, that I'm gonna get back to that because they know what we're up to. My favorite thing, I like to get out of my car and just moo at the cows. All right, we're just gonna go into this now. I like to go and just moo and just be like moo, moo. Dude, they turn and they just slowly turn their heads one by one, and they just look at you chomping their grass, and they're like, we know what you're up to. But we're going to eat this grass and we're going to fart with our 4 stomachs. And we're going to melt those polar ice caps and we're going to have our revenge. Yesterday I woke up at 5 a.m. and let's just talk about the simpler times real fast. I mean, I'm all over the place, but I'm on Dodge right now. And it's Dodge in Omaha, Nebraska. And they built this giant, what do we got here? 3 lanes. And it doesn't matter. It is just jam-packed with traffic. I'm just not a fan. Never been a fan of traffic. Can't do it. When I moved to California at 18, I got on the 405 for the first time, got off immediately on the next exit, went back to my apartment and shook for 3 hours. I finally got used to it, but it was wild. And now I feel like Dodge is like the 405 over here. Okay, so I was reading about the Indian Wars at 5 a.m. yesterday. Because I was reading about one thing, it led to another. Next thing you know, I'm reading about the Red River Wars. And the Red River Wars were basically in 1867. Around that time, the U.S. Army was like, all right, we got to get rid of all these nomadic Indians that are running around the southern panhandle of Texas and other places down south there, the Comanche, some others. And so their idea was, to have all these U.S. armies patrolling, kill them if they can, but if you can't kill them, what do? They generally would flee, and they would leave behind their little nomadic village of teepees and such. So they'd burn those, destroy their buffalo meat, and shoot their horses, bam, in the head. Very loving thing to do of the United States Army. So the nomadic Indians, they survived. Like, the reason they were able to do what they did is because of the animals. Like, they followed the animals, they followed the great buffalo. And so in 1867, the U.S. Army began hunting buffalo to sabotage the food sources of the indigenous people inhabiting the plains. And then in 1870, a new technique for tanning buffalo hides became commercially available. So in response, commercial hunters began systematically targeting buffalo for the first time. And I didn't I knew that there was a lot of buffalo, but there was tens of millions of buffalo. Okay, tens of millions of buffalo. By 1878, they were all but extinct. So from 1870, in 8 years, human beings genocide the buffalo, man. Genocided the buffalo and killed tens of millions of them. There's a really dope Mustang right next to me. A Boss 308. It was really cool. This dude's driving it. Older guy, chubby, but his it's green, and his license plate says toxic. And now I just think that he loves Britney Spears, and I don't think he's cool at all. All right, so, dude, yeah. I mean, tens of millions just slaughtering the buffalo. Obviously, this had horrible a horrible effect on the Indians and basically ruined their lives. And they just gave up and went to the reservations, and we all know how that ended up. But, dude, like, it's not even hard. Like, okay, it would be hard to kill a buffalo with a bow and an arrow and to ride after them on a horse. Yes. But also, they weren't like always just chasing them and shooting them with arrows. Like, they would try to get them when they were standing still. And I went to this place in kind of western Nebraska, out by Comstock, Nebraska. There is a lodge out there that you can stay in. And then they have, it's basically all fenced in, and you can go there and hunt elk. Huge, like, beautiful elk. I didn't go hunting. I just stayed at the lodge because there's nowhere else to stay, and I just needed a place to stay. And then the owners ended up giving me and the dude I was with a tour, took us around, showed us how beautiful everything was, and how people come there to kill the beautiful things. So they had elk, and then they had buffalo, and they actually figured out how to extract the DNA from the semen, I suppose, and make albino buffaloes. I think they had like the most albino buffaloes in the United States that you could shoot, by the way, for $3,000. And so the elk, like, you would actually have to go out, and they had a lot of acres. You would have to hunt them, a little bit more challenging. The buffalo, I go, how do you hunt a buffalo? I'm laughing because it's insane. I'm like, how do you hunt a buffalo? And he goes, you just stand here and you shoot it in the back of the head behind the ear. I'm like, what? Yeah, dude, you can't. They're enormous land beasts. All right? They're not hiding behind trees. There's nowhere for them to go. They're essentially a gigantic, beautiful cow. You're not going to hunt a cow. A cow's just standing there in the field. So that's how you hunt them. So you pay them like $2,500, $3,000. You stand there with your freaking rifle and execute it by shooting it behind the ear, because apparently that's just, they die right away and it's less painful for them. And then plus you can cut its head off and stuff it and put it on your wall like a true psycho. And get its hide. You could do a whole package, so you can have the buffalo skin and the fur, the rug hanging on your wall. Wrap your body in its corpse suit. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it. But that's how you hunt buffalo. So I guess my point is, yeah, like all these people, like killing 10 million of them, it's not like it would be hard. Basically, just in that day, they got all these rifles and everything else, and they just circle the buffalo and shoot them. Not hiding, not having to do calls. You don't have to cover yourself in buffalo piss to make them come out so you'd be able to execute them. I don't know. So there you go. So that's what the U.S. Army and commercial hunters, I suppose, just killed Indians and all the buffalo. Hell of a time to be alive back then, let me tell you. Hell of a time to be alive. And now, where are we at? Well, we're in rush hour traffic. Used to be free on the plains. And now, if you got to go to the bathroom, you got to stop at a gas station, go into a disgusting place that looks like a crime scene. It's hard finding a clean restroom. If you got to go, man, you better choose wisely. Because a lot of times, dude, if you're traveling and you got Gotta go to the restroom. You stop at a rest stop or a gas station. You go into the bathroom. You're like, what crimes were committed here? How many rapes? How many murders? It's disgusting. You gotta hover. You gotta hover over the toilet to go. That's why a lot of people do it. I mean, I still know a guy. I mean, he is a little bit younger than me, but he's got to be almost 40. He's 39 or 40 years old. Dude still has never pooped outside the home. I don't know how he does it. Maybe once. I mean, he'll deny it. He'll deny it and take it to his grave. But he holds it. He holds it until he'll have like toxic shock syndrome. Only poops at home, refuses to poop anywhere else. I can't live that life. All right, if I gotta go, I want it out. I want to be free, man. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be just like clenching my butt cheeks, pelvic thrusting, holding it in for 6 hours or however long. I mean, he would hold it for, he still does, for long periods of time. That's no way to live, man. At that point, you have a disorder. If you're holding your shit for 6 hours until you can get home, and you are near 40 years old, you have a disorder. You need therapy. You need to go talk to a counselor, figure out your issues, defeat it. Force yourself to take a dump in a public place, in a bathroom. I'm not saying like on a floor or anything like that. Maybe in a field. Try a field. That's clean. It's nature. Get your toilet paper, get what you like, get some wipes. I don't care. Dump in a field. Start slow. And then work your way up. Go to public restrooms, find a crime scene bathroom, and then work your way up to a porta potty. Boom. Once you're able to take a dump in a porta potty, you'll be able to dump anywhere on earth. It changes you. It changes the psychology of your mind. Trust me, I know. I worked on a construction site, building a Google Skynet server farm. And there was no choice. Like, you couldn't just leave and then come back. You couldn't go find somewhere nice to take a dump. Like, you were dumping in one of the, 100 porta potties on site. Dude, it was so bad when they would clean those out, when the people would come with their giant shit vacuum cleaners, and they would just suck them dry one by one. Dude, you've never smelled anything so bad in your entire life. On a hot Midwestern summer's day with 80% humidity, 90% humidity, where the shit particles just stick to the humidity in the air. Dude, you've never smelled anything that bad. Oof. I'll shudder just because of it. But dude, once I didn't want to take a dump in a porta potty. Like, I started slow. Like, I would hover, then I would put down toilet paper, sit on the seat, and then eventually I was just so desensitized and so jaded that I would just go in there and take a dump. Boom. Fixed all my problems. Now I'm afraid of nothing. Nothing scares me. No crime scene is too horrifying to take a dump in. And that's the truth. It humbles you. It humbles the spirit. It reminds you that you're just a man, that you're a mere mortal. You know who would benefit from taking a dump in a porta potty? Kanye West. It would change his life, dude. It would change his life. If he could humble himself and take a dump in a porta potty, he'd probably want his old teeth back. He'd probably want to take out his steel teeth or whatever he did, his vampire titanium teeth. He'd probably want to take them out, have regular teeth again. he would realize that he shouldn't parade that woman around in butt naked, just wearing a see-through trash bag. He would realize that she's worth more than that. He would repent again for all of his sins and his blasphemies, and recently, calling himself God and just being a total demonic psychopath. Like, you'd be born again. And that's his first step. His first step is taking a dump in a porta potty, and it would lead to the path of truly being born again. And I believe that. And someone should get him. Someone should get him and get him go to a job site, get him in a porta potty, and change his life, man. Change his existence. There's a new documentary that just came out about him, In Whose Name or something like that. I mean, this guy's, he had his first documentary, like, he filmed everything from, when he was trying to become a famous rapper, and then there's just another, 8 years of footage where someone just followed him around and filmed everything, and I don't know, that's a wild way to live, I guess when you believe you're that important. I don't know if it's good. I don't think that I'll watch it. I mean, I'm not going to watch the Charlie Sheen documentary. Why? The dude he's not remorseful. He's not repenting for all of his past behavior. I mean, this is a guy that's beat every one of his wives. He choked one of them, held a knife up to one of them. Their, neck, said he was going to kill him. He shot Kelly Preston. He's has AIDS and risked giving it to other people. Was an insane drug addict. And he's like, yeah, dude, it was a lot of fun. Charlie Sheen, here we go. Hey, how's it going? No, dude, not interested in your horrible life. I mean, even his brother, Emilio Estevez, Martin Sheen, they're not even in it. They're probably like, no, we're not going to support this lunatic. Yeah, and then I did see a clip from it on YouTube, or someone talking about the documentary, and said how it talks about how him and Nicolas Cage partied all the time. And then this guy went into, Nicolas Cage is a huge occultist. Actually, in 2010, bought a pyramid mausoleum to be buried in that has some sort of esoteric, occultish Latin on it. I don't remember exactly what it says. And then it was just going over, a lot of his movies that have occult themes, and now, he's made, a lot of, he plays that Longlegs character, a lot of evil stuff, and I'm like, yeah, dude, that makes sense. I could totally see Nicolas Cage being an insane occultist, but I guess him and Charlie Sheen were best friends, did tons of drugs together, I'm sure did each other, and I have no words. What I'm finding frustrating, maybe somewhat interesting, is that a lot of YouTube, X, all this stuff is just talking about how Hollywood, the music industry, it's nothing but Satanism and occultism and how evil it is. All these people are making all these posts, all these videos. They're getting millions of views. Millions of people are watching them. Yet no one is stopping listening to the music or watching the movies. So what is the point? Why are all these people making this content, and why are all these people watching this content, and then no one is changing their ways? You're just watching a video about how all new rappers are Satanists and in the Illuminati, and then you turn it off and then you go listen to that music? That is the definition of insanity. If any of those if all of these videos and all these posts were actually making a difference, then all these artists and movies would be disappearing because nobody would be consuming them. They would stop. But people are like, David Bowie's a witch, he's a sorcerer and a warlock. And then they're like, I love dancing in the dark or whatever. A really weird video of Mick Jagger and him dancing in oversized 80s clothes. He's a genius. He's an artist. It's just madness, man. It's the definition of madness. If you're going to watch that stuff and you believe it, then stop listening to it and stop watching it. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, well, I am almost to my location. So I'm going to sign off here. And you can subscribe to any of the streaming services of your choice. Subscribe on YouTube. Good news, 15 subscribers, baby. 15! Woo! That's basically, that's platinum. It's getting there. Taking this, going to the moon. You know that Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist that started NASA, wrote a book about a character, Elon, inhabiting or going to Mars in the future? Wild stuff. Maybe we'll chat about that tomorrow. But on that note, have a good day.